thank you so much for your time today and for your participation here on Africities TV. Why is decentralization such an important African agenda?
Well, as you know, and all your listeners of Africity Summit, that people never feel government at a continental, even national or provincial levels. They feel government at a local level because if you get into your home, you try to open a tap of water, nothing comes out. Trying to switch on the light, nothing happens. Potholes, no robots functioning. People blame the local government because that's the pulse of government. So it is important, therefore, that people need to ensure that we decentralize such that local government must have the capability and the capacity to do all the necessary things that we want, especially now that we know that Africa is rapidly urbanizing. More than 60% of our people live in urban areas, and more so, young people are much larger than the elder population. So let's create programs that must inspire our young people that in the cities are the areas of economic opportunities.
So we want strong functioning cities. What would you say are the biggest challenges facing local government officials here in South Africa, and how is national government assisting them in resolving those challenges?
Well, as you know, the issue of internal migration, cities such as Johannesburg, Durban, Cape Town, they have the influx of people from the rural areas. So as a result, the resources that are there, that have been planned for the people that they normally think are residents of Johannesburg, become small when compared to those who come from outside to join Johannesburg. So it is important, therefore, that as we innovate in our urbanization programs in terms of infrastructure, ICT, we should also not forget the synergy between urban development and innovation and support of infrastructure in rural areas, so that those areas must not longer be ghost areas, but there has to be that balance that must be created.
So national government will have to give local government officials the mandate to act on behalf of the people. We've had a lot of strikes, service delivery strikes in South Africa, and criticism against national government when it comes to resolving those issues. What were some of the processes in place to look at the issues that people have brought to the surface with regards to service delivery?
Thanks for that question. You'll recall that after our president was re-elected in 2014, one of the first steps that he did was to launch this program called Back to Basics, which is being championed by Minister Pravin Gordhan as a representative of national government to make sure that we improve our service delivery and get back to basics, to do the simple things of making sure that we close the potholes, of making sure that we improve service delivery, but more importantly, the quality of that service delivery. But as you know, government, even local government, cannot succeed unless you and I, in our residences, support these initiatives, because we should not always think that everything must come from government. We as organs of civil society must also contribute to making local government to work.
I definitely agree with you on that point, but when we look at statistics, especially statistics coming from institutions like Corruption Watch, for example, it shows that local governance is the weakest link because of the high levels of corruption. So certainly people are voting these local government officials into power. They want answers. How are you tackling corruption at local government levels?
Well, corruption, wherever it rears its ugly head, whether it's national, provincial, more particularly local government, we need to chop it. Because corruption, in fact, destroys the lives of our people. They take the resources of taxpayers and line up private individuals' pockets. So we need to make sure that those people who've got their fingers on the till, they must be identified, as I said. All this corruption is happening in our communities. We know which councillor is corrupt, but we do not tell the police. So let's provide information to law enforcement agencies so that we can be able to uproot all those rotten apples from government and from our communities.
And at the very least, there are these institutions that expose levels of corruption. Thank you so much for your time, sir.